Sorry, everyone. I had the countdown go again, but great to see everyone here. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me okay. Thank you for all the new people who are joining us live. I really appreciate it. We are broadcasting right now on YouTube, on Twitch. I'm cool now. I'm on Twitch. I don't know much about it, but if you're watching on Twitch, hello. X, Twitter, Substack, Locals, and Rumble. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Dave Bondy. I am an independent journalist. I used to work in the mainstream media, and I left because of the bias and the narratives. And now I am here talking to all of you. So it's great to be here, everyone. I really appreciate it. We're going to be talking about a story that broke a couple days ago in Michigan, and that story is Title IX. And there is a parent in Michigan who is fighting back against the public school system. He wants transparency, and he said that's not being given. And a lot of you probably know about this already. There is a reportedly a trans volleyball player in Washtenaw County, Michigan, at a high school, and this player allegedly was involved in a game at Monroe High School, and a parent of one of the players was not too happy about this. And it's not that he wasn't happy about that, but he wasn't informed about what was going on. And he tells me that his daughter actually was in the locker room with this person. So I'm going to get into that in just a minute, and I'm going to explain exactly what the story is about. We're going to be interviewing him, so we're going to have that. Thank you, everyone, for being here once again. Thank you, Lady is Shy. Appreciate it. All of our regulars watching right now, I thank you, everyone, for being here. It truly does mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Okay, there's something else happening in the world, and I'm getting some pushback on social media about this. And some of you might not be happy with me either about this, and you might want to give me some pushback, but I don't really care. So, do all of you know about what's going on with Candace Owens? Candace Owens, and how she is basically blaming anyone and everyone for the um, tragedy involving Charlie Kirk. And I just think it's really, really, really sad what's going on, because Charlie Kirk's wife, she has said that she would like it to stop. That Candace Owens, who is I don't even know if I want to say a conservative commentator. I don't know what she is right now, but she is basically spouting out a lot of different theories and different things involving um, the Charlie Kirk investigation. So I got over it because the algorithm was just pushing all of this at me on X. So I went ahead and did this. I went ahead and blocked her on my X account. And there's some people who are coming after me today. They're mad at me. They say that I don't allow real journalism because I'm blocking her. Let me know what you think. And if you feel the same way, that's fine. I'm willing to take criticism, but it's very bizarre because she's been just throwing out there random theories that have no basis in evidence or truth whatsoever. And I think it's really disrespectful to Charlie Kirk's wife, his widow, and to the Turning Point USA people. I think it's just wrong. And for those of you who are criticizing me for, not wanting to investigate a story, that's wrong. I look into every story that I can, and I am open minded to everything, but I'm not open to insanity. And that would be, for example, if one of you told me the earth is flat. You can believe that all you want, but I'm not going to put that out there because I know it's not true. The earth is not flat. Okay? I'm not going to do an entire show on why the earth is not flat, because it is. That's the same thing with Candace Owens. I'm not going to entertain, and nor do I want to be fed information on the social media platforms from her. So I blocked her. She doesn't care. I know that, but I'm just letting people know that I think it's really sad and ridiculous what she's doing. Um, no, she's not onto something at all, Scott Stillwell. I don't think you are correct at all. I'm willing to investigate conspiracies and look into them, but when it gets as crazy as this is, she's blaming like 5 or 6 different people for his death, everywhere from the Russians to the Israelis to Turning Point to the president. It's all over the place. And I mean, you have the right to listen to whoever you want to listen to, but I just don't I'm not for it. I'm not taking part in it. I get to decide what I see. I get to decide what I cover. And this is the last time you'll hear me ever mention her name. But just most of the people supporting me, that I blocked her because I really don't think it makes any sense. It's really sad indeed, because it was a tragedy of what happened to Charlie, and now this person has to cause controversy and bring more trouble. The person who's accused of committing the crime was in court today, and it has been ruled that cameras will be allowed in the courtroom. So I want to know what all of you think about that. I'm absolutely happy with that. I'm glad that cameras are going to be in the courtroom. And Jim on Substack says she lost her friend and is grasping at anything to make sense of it. Well, if that's the case, then she should just shut her mouth, because what she's doing is creating a lot of dangerous situations for Charlie's family and for others, out there as well. She's really creating a danger situation. Um, they made a ruling late today about that. I believe they made a ruling late today about cameras in the courtroom. I think it came down about a half hour ago. I'm going to look, but I believe they did. Cameras in the court. Um, yeah, I think they're going to be allowed. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I'm allowed to have my opinion. And obviously, there are conspiracies. There are things that are absolutely not true. But she's kind of crossed the line, in my opinion. So be with it what you may. Okay, moving on to our lead story tonight. We are talking about the Title IX situation in Michigan. And there is a high school, Skyline High School, I believe is the name of it. And they reportedly have a player on the girls' team who is not a girl. And one of the parents in Monroe, Michigan, at the Monroe High School, not very happy about this. And he, with others, has filed a Title IX complaint with the federal government, hoping to get this in front of President Donald Trump. Very, very interesting as to what's happening with this. And I want you to hear from him as to why he said he's protecting his daughter. And according to him, he said that, there should not be boys playing in girls' sports. That's according to him. And I think many people probably share this opinion. I want you to go ahead and listen closely to what he had to say. Joining me now, everybody, is Sean Lechner. You are a parent, and that is your number one thing in life, I'm assuming. I'm a parent as well. Being a parent means taking care of your little ones, right?
100%. That's our goal from the day they're born. Focus on watching them excel, provide them with protection and direction.
Okay. So tell us exactly what happened. This is a federal complaint, right? Lay it out for those who don't know what's going on.
Oh, it started on the first match of the Monroe High varsity volleyball team when we played Skyline in Monroe. I believe it was September 9th. Um, Minutes before the match, I was approached by several people asking if I was aware that we were playing a team that had a biological male on the team, which I had no idea. After 30 minutes, give or take, you could clearly see which player that athlete was. Again, there was no 100% confirmation the match played. We lost all 3 sets, unfortunately. And we went on with the evening. The next evening, I got a phone call from several people confirming that, in fact, that player was a biological male and is. And they also shared a locker room with my daughter and every other team member on that volleyball squad.
Wow, they didn't have separate. They all just one big locker room, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of threw me for a visiting team has
Yeah.
locker A, locker B, but for whatever reason, and I think this has happened a few times, they've shared a locker room.
Huh.
But again, especially if you've got prior knowledge, like our athletic director at Monroe High, the AD at Skyline, the head coach at Skyline, you would think an adult would put some type of safeguards around that issue concern and say, hey, coach, teammates, parents, here's what's going on. How do you feel? I mean, again, it's completely against Title IX, which is irrelevant. Where there's three separate issues, but you didn't even give my daughter or her teammates the opportunity to say, one, I want to opt out because it's a safety issue and I'm very concerned, or two, just as important, if not more, you having male entering a female locker room when there's minors getting dressed, undressed, using the bathroom. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it in my life, and it was disgusting, upsetting. I didn't sleep half the night.
Yeah, I mean, in some
Um,
instances, I remember back in the day. I'm 50 years old now, but if I did that as a kid, that would teetering on a crime.
Especially if you're 18. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I reached out to our athletic department, our AD actually, and asked again. I didn't have 100% confirmation until news started unfolding. People were talking and confirming. I asked if he had prior knowledge. He said he wasn't allowed to speak to me about that due to the Elliot Larson Privacy Act. He said that he could neither confirm or deny if there was a male in our locker room. And I said, listen, I'm not asking you for a name, a jersey number, contact information, date of birth. I'm just asking you if you knew or had knowledge that there's a male entering our locker room prior to match play.
yeah,
He wouldn't answer.
yeah. He didn't answer me when I asked for, or the superintendent, I think, said they're now looking into it, investigating.
And that's the thing. It's like, be transparent, right? I mean, if you made a mistake, I get it. I understand. It's not right. We'll still take action, but it makes the process smoother. It makes transparency available to everybody. And it gives our kids and parents a little bit of reassurance that, hey, we're going to do the right thing instead of bury it, hide it, and not talk about it.
Yeah, because
And
I've interviewed superintendents across the state, and I admit, and you may, I don't know if you do as well, they're in a weird situation because
absolutely,
if they side with this side, they're going to get sued. If they side with that side, they're going to get sued. So you're saying just be transparent as you can.
absolutely be transparent on what happened. If we missed that loophole, that safety guard, if we missed a communication, or do we allow this and know about this for a certain agenda that you believe in as an athletic director and you've been pushing on social media? And that's where I'm at today.
Yeah.
I'm convinced not only do we have facts that he had knowledge prior, he has continued to post on his Instagram account, his social media accounts, pushing and prying and almost mocking our female athletes. It's disgusting.
Wow.
Um, it,
That's wow. What is the, and I know you don't have a lot of time. This is a Title IX complaint. What is the goal of this? Is it to get, obviously it's getting attention, but the federal government now looking into this, what is the goal?
I mean, Dave, honestly, I never wanted to be in this position.
I bet.
We were in fear of backlash with my daughter, other female players, but at the end of the day, I'm a dad, and that's what I signed up for. My ultimate goal, and it should be every father's ultimate goal, is to one, protect the privacy of our daughters in the locker room, outside the locker room, ban every single sport, ban biological males from competing against females. It's female versus female. It's not co-ed. This is female varsity volleyball. We have
Yeah.
sports, football, baseball. They're labeled that way for a reason.
Yeah.
Ban them from competing for safety reasons and the competitive edge, which is another huge issue, right? I mean, the volleyball net, just example, it's 7 inches, 7.5 inches higher for a male Now you've got 7.5 inches lower for a female. That's a huge competitive edge, and
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, and that sets up a huge safety concern for every female. Um, Again, that's one, ban every biological male from ever playing against females. Two, ban biological males from ever entering a female locker room during any kind of sporting event, any kind of meeting. Whenever there's a female around, involved, going in and out of that locker room, bathroom, their safety needs to be protected. And it needs to be equal for everybody, not just for that one person. A person's equality means equality across the board.
It seems like the courts, the state, something needs to be done to cement this in law or in writing. I know the state of Michigan always says, well, the Elliott Larson Act, but some are saying also the Elliott Larson Act doesn't call for this. Do the courts need to get involved? Does someone need to get involved to lay down what's going on? Because there seems like so much confusion amongst superintendents and the judges. It's just out. We don't know.
And I think that, again, I'm not an attorney, but I think that the reason why there's so much confusion is because there's so much political involvement, and people's political agenda in the school system is completely, it shouldn't be there. And that's why you've got one person saying, let's focus on this because this is our agenda. This is how we get our public funding. Or here's reality. Here's common sense. We don't get funded off this. I think that's where we're at. And yes, a judge needs to get involved. I'm praying and hoping President Trump gets involved and we do the right thing, not just for our girls in Monroe, Michigan, but across the nation. It's we preach and teach every day for so many years about equality. And now we all have an opportunity to step up, make a change positive. Don't label anybody. It's not about left or right, race, creed, or gender. It's about doing the right thing for the right reasons. And I'll fight for that for my daughter and every female until we get this process and everything hopefully fluid and sound moving forward.
Yeah, and I don't know you, but I'm assuming I've read, online now people are attacking you,
They
saying
are.
you're anti this, you're anti that. But the truth is what? You're just looking out for your child. You're not anti.
The only thing I am anti is hate. I have friends of all creatures, all creed, religion. That doesn't matter to me. My daughter's the same. We don't see religion or race. We don't see sex. I've got several friends that are gay, lesbian, that are left, that are right, that we have different religion views. But at the end of the day, if you're a respectful person, that's all that makes you and the makeup who you are. It's not about you being a male or female, who you're dating. It's about how you're being treated and if we're being treated with equality across the board. And I'll fight for that until I'm blue in the face.
Why did you decide to, and maybe this will help others, stand up? Because it's not easy to put your face out there. And there's other parents right now watching who are probably like in a situation. There's so many situations at schools that I'm learning about that parents are afraid to step up. What's your message to them?
It's, it sounds simple. I mean, it's definitely been a struggle and it's a battle. But at the end of the day, and I continue to say this, but we teach and we preach to our children to do the right thing. We try to work so hard on protecting them and to showing them the right direction. Don't preach it. Listen to people. Do the right thing. And if we as parents preach that to our children, we have to respect that and show them, let's stand up for what we're preaching and teaching. Do it out loud, but be respectful. I mean, I see speeches and talk, but people talk with hate on both sides of the fence.
Oh yeah.
If you're respectful for what you believe in and it's common sense, I'm asking and praying that every parent stands up for their kids, their daughter, their son, their future. Don't worry about being attacked by the schools or the government, or in this case, the left or the right. Worry about what you do today to help them make that change will make that roadmap to tomorrow's future. And that's what's going to help every kid, male or female, continue to grow and build that next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Have you gotten you've gotten a lot of support? I believe.
Oh, we've gotten a ton of support, countless. It's been, it definitely overshadows the small 2% hate. It's from people I've never met in different states, politicians, um, high school kids, coaches. It's been heartfelt.
Yeah. How's your daughter? How's she doing? She okay?
She's a beast. She, you know, that was our biggest fear. I told her she didn't have to be involved. She didn't have to talk. And she said, Dad, I want to do what's right. It's definitely confusing for her. She's a little nervous, but her faith is stronger than you can imagine.
Gotcha. Do we know? I might have to ask a lawyer this. The next step. It's been filed. Do we know what happens next, or have they told you? Or do
No,
where's the
we're just waiting on, I just received that confirmation yesterday, and it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to process. So now it's a waiting game. Now I do know that MPS Monroe Public Schools had hired a third party investigation. So once they review that, then we're going to go to step 2 with them. So it's federal and state level at this point.
okay? Something that you said they should have done in the very beginning.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be even a question.
Wow. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, your bravery standing up, and as a parent, yeah, we just got to look out for our kids, no matter what it is. It shouldn't be political. That's your
That's
message,
right.
right? It should not. It shouldn't be political.
100%. It should not be political. It should be about right and wrong, protecting our children and helping pave that path to success for them.
Cool. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate everything.
There you go, Sean Lechner, everybody, a parent, and let me tell you, it takes a lot of courage for him to come out publicly and say what he did because, as you can imagine, he is most likely getting threats of all kinds from people. And when he said he is just out there protecting his daughter and just trying to look out for her, and I would do the same thing. I have a daughter, and I would never want anything like this for my daughter. I would always, I would do whatever it takes to protect my children. So I'm reading some of the comments online right now, and it seems like most all of you, are siding with Mr. Lechner right there. I don't see one person that's not. I know my audience is a little more conservative, but no one siding in the opposition of him as well. But I'm going to continue to follow that story. A federal investigation is underway. The Monroe Community Schools, they did release a statement. I believe they have hired an outside firm to begin investigating, which means more taxpayer money being spent because of this. But the dad says they didn't have to. He claims that they covered this up a while ago, months ago, and now they're investigating. He said it's really something that they, didn't have to do now, that they could have came out and talked about it back in the time. So yeah, really, really interesting. Moving on that. Sorry for the road comment of on my phone is Scott. That's absolutely fine. For those of you watching on Substack, Laura said the Senate could take up the bill that was passed at the House to ban biological males from female athletics. Laura, that's correct. But the issue we have in Michigan right now, for those of you who don't know, the Michigan House is Republican, the Michigan Senate is Democrat, and there is most likely no way that the Michigan Senate will take this up or pass this. I don't believe. And I'm sure Governor Whitmer would most likely not sign it if it did pass. It's a very political issue. And like Sean said right there, it should not be a political issue, but it is. Laura, watching on Substack, says House Bill 4066. So there is legislation that the House put out there that would uh, take care of this and help with Mr. Lechner's concerns. But in Michigan, hey, Sean's watching right now on Substack, everybody. Sean's watching. For those of you watching on Substack, Sean is watching, everybody. Say hi to Sean. We're on 5 different platforms right now. We are on Twitter, Local, Substack, Rumble. But Sean is watching on Substack. So the thing is, in Michigan, the House is Republican, so they can pass legislation, but then it would have to be approved by the Senate, and a lot of that is most likely not going to be approved by the Senate. So that's why that many people are arguing that 2026 is so very important because we're going to have a new governor, we're going to have a new attorney general, we're going to have a new secretary of state, and we could have a whole new state house, not a whole new state house, but there could be a change in a shift in power in Lansing when it comes to um, power. I mean, we could have all Republicans. All Republicans could take back the House, the Senate, and the governorship in Michigan. Or it could go the other way, or it could be mixed again. Who knows? That's why 2026 is going to be so very important on multiple issues. No matter which way you go and which way you think, it's going to be important for Democrats. It's going to be important for Republicans and independents as well. And that's why I've already moderated two debates for the GOP gubernatorial candidates, and I want to let everyone know right now, I am willing and ready to moderate a debate for the Democrats. Someone accused me of being biased, and I'm like, I'll be happy to interview the Democrats as well. I would love to have them on my show. I'm going to be working in the new year to get all of the candidates for governor on my show. There's quite a few of them, so I'm going to be working out all the logistics. I'm also going to be inviting all of the Democrats who are running for governor to be on my show. So we'll see if they come on. If they don't, that's up to them, but I will be giving them all a shot. Okay, well, I will keep you updated on Sean's case there in Monroe County, that Title IX investigation that is in the hands of the White House. President Trump has not talked a lot about Michigan when it comes to Title IX. He has threatened to take federal funding away from other states, local municipalities, but he hasn't done that a lot with Michigan. So we'll see if this has any traction at the White House. Sean wants everyone to know that stay strong, stay united, stay hand in hand with your family and friends, do what's right, protect our daughters, stay strong, and God bless. Sean just said that on Substack. He's watching right now. And he is anyone that would like to leave a comment on Substack, please become a paid subscriber because that's how I am able to continue my independent journalism. I was a mainstream media journalist making good money, but I walked away in order to go independent. And every day I am fighting the algorithms and all this stuff. So that's why I urge all of you to sign up to my Substack newsletter and my locals and become a paid subscriber if you're able to do so, because that is how I can truly keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, we got a couple more minutes. Any more comments? I'm going to look at see if we have any comments from anyone. Oh, I do have a comment from someone on X, CJ Banksful, watching right now, and this is going back to the Candace Owens situation. She said, "Dave, you are so right. Candace seemed to go off the deep end when she met her husband." I don't know if that's true. I've talked to her husband before, actually, and he seemed like a normal guy, but I only talked to him for a very short time. At some point, we were going to have a business dealing together, but that fell through. Thankfully, that fell through. That didn't happen. That's when he was owner of Parler, the social media platform. So I respect everyone's opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. And that's what I was talking with Sean earlier today, that he and I and many people have friends who are Democrats, who are Republicans, those who are far left. I'm friends with people who are on the far left. I have family members that are on the far left, but I don't talk to them about politics. When I talk to them, I still know that they're human beings and they're still human. I don't believe in their policies, but that doesn't make them horrible human beings, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't. So let me see any other comments we have coming. Let me look at your screen right here. CJ, thank you for the comment. Karen, thank you for the comments as well. Everyone watching on X, I really appreciate it. And those of you watching on YouTube Live, we're now allowed to go live on YouTube because my music is original music. I had a musician make the music for our show, for the intro and the outro of our show. I actually produced music that was made just for our show. Okay, coming up on Sunday's show, something very, very interesting. And Sunday's show was a show that I didn't know if I was going to put out there because I remember Jerry Sandusky, the convicted. You know what he did is accused, not accused of doing. He was convicted of doing to children at Penn State. Well, there is some people say now that he's not guilty. There is a independent journalist, an author, who has done lots of research claiming that Sandusky is not guilty of that crime. I believe he is guilty, 100% guilty, and that he's a horrible human being. I cover the trial. But I am open to always listening to everybody. And I'm having him on the show on Sunday. He is an independent journalist, he's an author. He spent years investigating the Jerry Sandusky case. He actually interviewed Jerry Sandusky in prison. So we're going to be looking into that. And yes, someone just asked on locals. I apologize for this. Paid subscribers on Saturday night, if you are a paid subscriber on any of my communities, I go live on Saturday night with my wife, Katie, and it's called Keeping It Real After Hours. That is a show where we let loose. I'll give my opinion a little more. My wife definitely gives her opinion. We'll talk about parenting, the news, education, news of the day, anything. We'll talk about it. So if you are you able to become if you're able to become a paid subscriber, it's $6 a month. You can leave whenever you want. If you do a year, you get 2 months free. So you can sign up for a year and get 2 months for free. It's something really cool. And you're helping me as an independent journalist funding this because I don't have any major funding sources. I have Rapid Radios and they help me with my what I do, but definitely not enough to cover everything. So become a paid subscriber. It would mean a lot to me. Jim on Substack is asking me about the situation with the University of Michigan head coach. I don't know a lot about it. I probably only know as much as all of you know that the head coach of the University of Michigan football team was fired for having an inappropriate relationship. And then he broke into a home, allegedly committed some crimes. He wanted to harm himself. It seems like a very sad situation. It sounds like he needs mental health help at this time. But there's also some questions now. Did the University of Michigan, did they know what was going on and did they cover it up? Good night, Sissy. I'll talk to you later. I've heard that I haven't confirmed it yet. Can anyone else confirm that the athletic director has been fired at the University of Michigan? I've heard that that happened, but I have not been able to confirm that yet tonight. I'm trying to confirm that. There are rumors going around earlier today. So if that's true, I'll post something on social media and keep you updated on that if that is the case, because I'm not 100% sure if that happened or not. But it's definitely a wild situation happening at the University of Michigan. And prayers go out to the head coach. And I know he is accused of doing some bad things, but it sounds like a mental health issue for sure. And I hope he gets the help he needs and that the University of Michigan football program can get on the right path because they've had lots of issues lately at the University of Michigan. Really interesting. So, who will their next head coach be? Who knows? Scott Stillwell. I'll talk to you later, Scott. Let me know what happens. One of our regulars on the platform called Locals just said he has a police officer at his door right now. So I don't want to know. I'll find out later what's going on with him. Okay, everyone. Well, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate all of you being here. And if you are brand new, make sure you stay on this platform because Locals and Substack, they believe in free speech. That's why I'm here 42,000 people are on Substack now. And if you would like to become a paid subscriber, I urge you to do so because I would like to grow this into something big. I would like to do a show every night. And the more paid subscribers I do, the more maybe I could hire someone to help me get this done. Because right now it's just me, my wife, and our Pomeranian that may not have long to live. So, talk to you later, everyone. Have a good night. Prayers, amen to every single one of you.